Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. Today, a podcast. I was able to join Amber Morningstar on her Dropset Gorgeous Radio podcast. What follows this video is a 5-minute clip, sample clip of the podcast. The total length of the podcast runs about 47 minutes. You can check out the link to the complete podcast below at iTunes. Amber is a friend of ours, me and Fiona's, and she runs, in my opinion, one of the best podcasts in the lifting industry, and that's no BS. So I highly encourage you to check out not only this episode, but her other episodes. This woman loves health and fitness, and she has a strong passion for connecting with the real quality people in the industry. So here's my podcast. Take a listen and click the link below to listen to the entire episode.
What would you say is the biggest lie that people tell themselves that hold them back from progress in the gym or life? And what advice do you give to those people who have that misinformed or skewed ideation of themselves or their progress?
This is a good question, and I probably could come up with many answers, but having answered questions for a long, long time, I think the biggest lie is that they need motivation to accomplish their goals, or they even need a complete long-term vision to accomplish their goals. I know we're in such a, we're in a, and hear me out on this, we're in a world where, you know, we have long-term, we're supposed to find our long-term goals and our short-term goals, and we're supposed to find our motivation. All these books and articles on motivation. Every website has a section called motivation. But to me, that's the biggest lie, because we're adults and we know what the right thing to do is. We don't always know where the path is going to take us. So instead of worrying about finding motivation, instead of worrying about what my long-term goals are, I'm talking about the average person that's really overweight and not eating right. They just need to learn that all they really need to do is get up the next day, and every time they have a choice, take it seriously and do the best they can to make the right choice. And motivation is cultivated. It's not always there. But if you get up every day and you just make the best choices you can, and you take it seriously, and when you make mistakes, you don't revert back to your old lifestyle. You revert back to your new lifestyle, and you still continue to fight and reprogram your brain and your body and try to make the best choices possible, and keep taking those steps forward each day, you're going to get to someplace special. And over the course of that time, you're going to find your motivation. You're going to find your drive. And as time progresses, you're going to find your goals. I mean, I didn't have the goal to lose 100 pounds and to have a body that most men want. I was just trying to stay alive and have somebody find me attractive. I mean,
And I agree with you in that too. I mean, even for myself, when I first started working out, it was in and around the time where I was transitioning out of university. And for me, it was just like I had been partying a little too hard through university, put on a little bit more weight than I had wanted to. And so I really just started working out with the intent of, I just want to feel healthier. And that just turned into what I'm doing now, which is nowhere near anywhere where I would have thought I would have ended up. So
one of the struggles, you know, when dealing with people I face is they're like, you know, I don't like to do this, or I don't like to eat like this, or I don't like to eat vegetables, or I don't like to do cardio. What should I do? You know what? I don't like to eat anything other than pizza and ice cream. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like to drink anything other than beer. I would prefer to sit on my butt, eat pizza and ice cream, and drink beer. I get that all the time from people. I don't really like to squat and deadlift. It's very mentally exhausting. I mean, especially when it gets strong, and you do it for years, you know, 30 years. That I don't like to do any of that stuff. I really don't. It's not the easiest path. I mean, I do like it in a sense, but in a relative sense, it's much easier just to sit and eat pizza. You know, to anybody listening that tells themselves, I don't like to eat vegetables and I don't like to work out, I don't give a shit. if you don't like to do something, that's still your choice, but you still know what the right thing to do is. And that's your choice. You either need to do the right thing or be a quitter.
People will show adherence to things like a job that they maybe don't necessarily like, and they get up every day and they go to that job and they work that job even though they don't like working at that job, because they know they need that money to pay their bills and to live life. But they won't take a commitment with fitness in the same respect and take that just as seriously, when that's something that contributes to their overall health and well-being. If they're, depending on how they're approaching it, I mean, there are ways to be involved in health and fitness and be unhealthy. But it helps with their overall health and well-being. And it's not always, like you said, it's not always going to be the easier path, but at the end of the day, like, don't make the excuse you're an adult.
Right. It all comes down to choice.
Exactly.